You know, GE likes to talk and use the word legacy, as in legacy costs, and we've heard a lot about that. Well, we have a legacy of our own, and it is appropriate and fitting that our aged retirees are sitting front and center where they belong. And I was reminded, I was thinking about this yesterday, and I was again reminded by the video. It's been this 2011 is the 65th anniversary, 65 years, that there was the first national strike against General Electric in 1946. Our wages had been frozen during the war. We were entitled to a substantial wage increase. And we were summoned, our officers were summoned by Charles Wilson, president of General Electric. They called him Electric Charlie. And we went a few blocks to Lexington Avenue and heard his offer. He was sitting at his desk literally under a sun lamp, getting himself a tan. Now, the demand of the CIO was $2 a day. That comes to 25 cents an hour, $2 a day. And Mr. Wilson, under his sun lamp, said, 10 cents an hour, boys, that's it. Take it or leave it. And in 1946, our late, great Secretary-Treasurer, Julius M. Spack, said, in that case, Mr. Wilson, we'll just have to leave it. And at the end of that strike, 500,000 people on strike, auto workers, steel workers, electrical workers, and more. We didn't get 25 cents, but we got 18 and a half. And in percentage terms, it was then and remains the largest wage increase in the history of General Electric. See, when they talk about legacy, that's part of our legacy. But they say, and they're right, times have changed. A lot of water under the bridge since 1946. They began the negotiation by giving us a presentation on bargaining trends, not formal proposals yet, just reminded us what the trends were. And what were the trends they talked about? They talked about lump sum wage increases instead of structural increases. They talked about no post-65 medical. They said that defined benefit pension plans are getting obsolete. You should instead play in the casino if you want a pension. Make no mistake about this one, brothers and sisters. When they say that new hires should not join the defined benefit plan, our pension plan, which, by the way, since 1989, employees collectively have put in approximately $2.5 billion in contributions, and General Electric has contributed zero. They have the audacity to say, well, it's a volatile stock market. We don't want to deal with that anymore. Understand this. When new hires cannot join that plan, when and if, the pension plan is on death row, and the only question left is how long before the sentence is executed. Understand it clearly. So they had a laundry list of bargaining trends. And I guess they figure, never waste a crisis. Never waste a crisis. They openly brag that they can put an ad in the paper and get thousands of people applying for the jobs, and of course they can. As has been mentioned, they and their corporate brothers have systematically, with the help of the politicians, hollowed out the manufacturing base over 30 years and more. The banks, the investment houses, the regulators asleep at the switch, the corporations created the financial chaos of 2008, and now they want to take advantage of it. They don't think we have the right stuff anymore. They don't think we can stand up to it anymore. It's not like 1946. Well, they're correct. It's not like 1946, but there's something that's the same. I thought to myself, is this generation, if necessary, and if they force it on us, not because we want it, if they force it on us, are we prepared to stand up? And I thought about that. Well, we got our answer here today. I not only think we can stand up, looking at this crowd and being here today, I know we can stand up. Now let me just take a second. It's not just a question of legacy costs. The issue of health care for active employees is front and center in these negotiations. The blue t-shirts I see lay it right on the line. Well, they want to put their hands all over your health care. And they talk about, well, we're going to have options, exciting options to keep you healthy. Option 1, option 2, and option 3 of health choice. It's like going into a bar room and having your friendly bartender say, we got drinks for you. Arsenic, strychnine, and maybe over here some battery acid. We understand that these negotiations are difficult. We understand what we're up against, but we're not afraid, we're unified. We asked them about health choice. Well, there are people who have been existing under it for a year and a half. You referred to a survey. They like the tools, the internet tools. Hell, we can't get tooling half the time in the shop to get the product out, and they're talking about tools. They were afraid to ask their salaried people what they thought, evidently, because we got the survey. And they didn't ask them anything. They haven't surveyed the salaried people. They didn't ask them about the co-pays. They didn't ask them about the deductibles. They didn't ask them about the contributions. They asked them nothing. Maybe they knew the answer and were afraid to ask. We're going to do the best we can on that. I don't underestimate their determination. We're used to rough, tough bargaining on health care. It may be that we have to make some painful compromises. We'll see. But there'll be compromises. They will not be the dictates of the General Electric Company. They think the working class is so much on the defensive that we can't bring ourselves to fight if necessary. Like their corporate brothers, they may have underestimated us because a fight back around the world is brewing. They want working people to pay for the crisis that they created, that the banks and all the rest created. And that's why there are demonstrations in Greece and in Ireland and in Spain. You think we got it tough? Try going on strike in Syria or Bahrain or Yemen or Egypt. But in spite of all the odds, working people around the world are stirring. And we heard reference to the Badger in Wisconsin. Well, we got a few Badgers here today, and GE will know it before long. One more word of caution. Wherever we wind up in two and a half weeks, 2 weeks, our conference boards will get together and they will make a recommendation to you. And at this point, it's anybody's guess where we'll be. Whatever it is, you will have the final say, and I wouldn't have it any other way, and none of us would. But we will make the recommendation, and when you have questions, and whether you agree or disagree, don't listen to GE's garbage. They've got their massive public campaign already in the hopper. There'll be TV shows. It'll be on your computer at your workstation. There'll be full-page ads. There'll be letters. There'll be captive meetings. If you won't want the dope on the contract, good, bad, or indifferent, get up and get your rear end to the union hall. I'm not one to rattle the sabers, and we will do everything we can to negotiate a fair contract without having to take them on. We don't seek that sort of thing. They force it on us. That's the way it's always been. But like the shirt said, that the 506 printed up, we don't roll over, and we don't play dead. You know, I was thinking, how do I conclude here? I'm going to get the whistle blown on me in a minute. And I was thinking back to three or four of these rallies ago, 3 or 4 contracts, and I figured, why not repeat what made sense then? I think these are good words to live by and to contemplate no matter what union we happen to be affiliated. This is from the UE Constitution. These words have been around since the 1930s. They were what guided the people that I talked about in 1946. We form an organization which unites all workers on an industrial basis and rank and file control, regardless of craft, age, sex, nationality, race, creed, or political beliefs, and pursue at all times a policy of aggressive struggle to improve our conditions. Brothers and sisters, we don't seek it, and hopefully it won't be necessary. But if GE goes too far, if they underestimate us, if they think that we don't have the stuff that the earlier generations had, they will get an aggressive struggle, the likes of which this labor movement has not seen in a long time.